This is Every Hot Sauce explained in 10 minutes, where each bottle tells the story of tradition, power, and the science of why your taste buds crave more. The real surprise is not just the heat. It is what has been hiding in plain sight on your table all along. Jalisco, 1926. Bottles of Cholula line family tables and market stalls, their wooden caps and bright labels hinting at a recipe older than the factory itself. Named for the ancient city where pyramids outnumber churches, Cholula blends arbol and piquin chiles with vinegar and a touch of smoke. The result is a sauce that never overwhelms. Just enough heat to wake up a plate of tacos or fried eggs, but always balanced and always inviting. Mexican chef Enrique Olvera calls it a harmony, heirloom chiles roasted for flavor, not fire. Its Scoville rating, 1,000 to 3,000 Scoville units, keeps it within reach for nearly anyone, making it a fixture on North American tables. Half a world away, in the 1930s in the Thai fishing town of Sriracha, a garlicky red sauce appears in noodle shops. The flavor is sweet, sharp, and unmistakably Southeast Asian. Decades later, David Tran, a Vietnamese refugee with $300 and a dream, lands in Los Angeles. He grinds fresh chilies by hand in a Chinatown garage, refusing to advertise or sell out to big distributors. Instead, his Rooster-branded Sriracha spreads by word of mouth, from faux shops to pizza chains, until more than 20 million bottles ship each year. With jalapeno or Fresno chiles, garlic, sugar, and vinegar, Tran's recipe delivers a sweet, garlicky punch that lingers just above Cholula on the heat scale, 1,000 to 2,500 Scoville units. Both sauces are pourable, tangy, and built for everyday use. But where Cholula leans smoky and mild, Sriracha brings a gentle burn wrapped in sweetness. Each one redefines what mild heat can do, setting the stage for the thicker, richer sauces to come. On Guadalajara's bustling streets, thick orange Valentina flows from plastic bottles onto popcorn, fruit, and pizza slices. Unlike the thin vinegary sauces before it, Valentina clings to snacks with a tangy, almost creamy texture. Puya chiles bring a bold, round heat, never sharp or overwhelming, balanced by vinegar and a secret blend of spices. Since the 1950s, this sauce has been a staple at street carts and corner stores, its label promising just enough fire for a handful of chips or a splash in a michelada. The Scoville scale ranges from 3,000 to 5,000 Scoville units, but the thickness softens the punch, making it a favorite for anyone chasing both flavor and fun. Across the border in Los Angeles, a Mexican-American family launched Tapatio in 1971. Inspired by the flavors of Jalisco, they bottled a zesty red sauce that is thinner than Valentina, but still packs a punch. Piquin chiles, vinegar, and garlic create a bright, everyday heat, around 3,000 Scoville units, that wakes up fries, ceviche, or a plate of scrambled eggs. Tapatio's sombrero-wearing mascot became an icon in home kitchens, lunch trucks, and diners across the United States. The bottle's promise: zest without intimidation, a taste of home for generations, raised on both Mexican tradition and American innovation. Both Valentina and Tapatio signal a new era for hot sauce, a move from the pourable and mild to the thick, snack-ready, and proudly bold. On Avery Island, Louisiana, Tabasco takes a different path. In 1868, Edmund McElhenney begins fermenting Tabasco peppers with salt, aging the mash in oak barrels for up to 3 years before blending it with vinegar. The result is thin, sharp, and unmistakably acidic, a sauce built on patience rather than freshness. At 2,000 to 5,000 Scoville units, Tabasco hits fast and clean. The heat flashes, then fades, leaving brightness behind instead of sweetness or smoke. Used sparingly on eggs, seafood, or stews, it became a global standard, proving that a few drops can be enough. On Korean rooftops, rows of clay jars quietly work through the seasons. Inside, gochujang ferments for months, sometimes even years, as glutinous rice, soybeans, and gochugaru chiles slowly transform under the watchful eye of time. The result is a deep red paste, rich with umami, and a measured heat. Never sharp, always lingering. At 1,000 to 2,500 Scoville units, gochujang's warmth builds gradually, woven into bibimbap, stews, and marinades. As Korean chef Corey Lee says, 6 months in the jar builds an umami that lingers beyond heat. In the Levant and Yemen, the story of heat takes a different path. Mortars pound together fresh green or red chiles, garlic, cilantro, and cumin to make zhug or shada, a paste that crackles with herbal sharpness. Here the heat leaps forward, bright and immediate, ranging from 5,000 to 15,000 Scoville units. The freshness of the herbs and the bite of raw garlic give zhug its edge, making it the bold companion to falafel, hummus, or shawarma. In Tunisia's bustling souks, harissa comes together as a blend of ground chiles, garlic, olive oil, and spices like caraway and coriander. Each region tweaks the mix, so the heat can stay mellow at 2,000 Scoville units or soar past 20,000 Scoville units. Unlike the slow, savory depth of gochujang or the green sting of zhug, harissa layers its flavors, smoky, spicy, and aromatic, ready for couscous, tajinas, or a simple sandwich. Across these continents, thyme, herbs, and spice create pastes that are as much about memory and place as they are about heat. In 1996, Tao Huabi's tiny Guizhou shop fills with the scent of fried chiles, soybeans, and garlic. Truckers line up for her chili oil, soon known as Lao Gan Ma. Each spoonful crackles with fried bits, delivering savory heat from 2,000 to 5,000 Scoville units. The oil preserves the chiles, letting flavor linger without an overwhelming burn. Sichuan kitchens pursue that same sensation. Chili crisp, now a staple, suspends fried garlic, shallots, and peppercorns in ruby oil. The crunch is as vital as the heat. From 5,000 to 10,000 Scoville units, while the oil slows the fire and highlights toasty, numbing notes. Food writer Fuchsia Dunlop describes it as a sauce where texture leads, with fried aromatics adding a gentle mala tingle. In Mexico, salsa macha brings its own twist. From Veracruz to Jalisco, cooks fry arbol or morita chiles with peanuts, sesame, and garlic, blending them into a chunky, nutty oil. The result is a rich, spicy sauce, also from 5,000 to 10,000 Scoville units, perfect for tacos or seafood. On Anatolian rooftops, red peppers dry in the sun. Crushed and salted, they become biber salkasi, a thick paste with mellow heat up to 8,000 Scoville units. Here, sun and salt concentrate sweetness and depth, anchoring stews, and meze. Oil, crunch, and sun, dried intensity shape how spice is felt. Texture and flavor matter as much as burn. High in the Andes, farmers tend pepper fields whose history stretches back more than 6,000 years. Archaeologists have uncovered traces of ají cultivation in Peru's Chicalhama Valley, with microfossils dating to 6,100 years ago, long before the Inca Empire, before potatoes or corn found their way across continents. Ají peppers, prized for their bright, fruity fire, became a staple of ancient kitchens and remain the backbone of ceviche and grilled meats. Ají is our Incan DNA, says Rosa Barron, a Sacred Valley farmer whose family grows heirloom varieties for modern markets. Centuries later, Portuguese ships sailed from Europe, their holds filled with the Americas' botanical treasures. Among them were bird's eye chills bound for Mozambique. On African soil, these peppers became piri-piri, blended with garlic and lemon, then spooned over chicken, destined for an open flame. The marinade's heat, which can climb to 50,000 Scoville units, carries echoes of both continents, ancient Andean fire, colonial exchange, and the resilience of cooks who passed recipes by word of mouth. The world's spice map was redrawn, and the upper reaches of the heat scale began to take shape. In Indonesia, sambal is never just one thing. With more than 200 regional varieties, it can be as simple as chiles and salt, or as complex as a blend of garlic, shallots, lime, and shrimp paste. Some versions are pounded raw for a bright, fresh heat. Others are simmered with fermented seafood, layering umami and funk beneath a burn that can reach 100,000 Scoville units. Sambal is not just a condiment. It is a building block, spooned over rice, noodles, or grilled meats, always tailored to the cook's hand and the region's taste. But in the Caribbean, heat takes on a new form. Scotch bonnet peppers, close cousins to habaneros, bring a wave of sweet, tropical fruitiness that gives way to a searing, lasting fire. Sauces built from these peppers climb from 100,000 up to 350,000 units, the upper edge of what most people can handle in daily cooking. Scotch bonnet sauce is the backbone of jerk chicken, where allspice, thyme, and wood smoke join the pepper's heat. Here, the ceiling of everyday spice is reached, blending tradition, flavor, and intensity in every bite. Hot sauce isn't just about heat. It is a living record of migration, trade, and adaptation. As global demand for spicy foods rises and new hybrids emerge, each bottle on the table connects us to centuries of invention. What you choose to taste is history, still unfolding. Share your favorite below.